you've ever stood in front of a macrame piece holding a handful of fibers thinking, I love this, but I don't know what to do with it, then you're not alone. Texture and weaving can feel a bit chaotic and intimidating, especially when you're trying to figure out what type of materials to use, how to mix them, and how to incorporate them so that they don't feel bulky and chaotic. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of all of this. Hey everyone, it's Nicole here from BOCHIKNOT Macrame, and in this video, we are going to be going over the process in selecting the right materials and all that goes into for design when it comes to texture and weaving. I'm going to show you what to start with, what to save for later, and help you make confident choices that help support your design. By the end, you'll know exactly how to approach weaving in macrame so that it feels soft, intentional, cohesive, and not overwhelming. And with that said, let's jump right in. Texture and weaving can feel a little bit overwhelming at first. The first thing I will say though is that weaving doesn't have to start with new materials like roving. You can create beautiful rich texture using macrame cord like I did here, which is often the easiest and most cost-effective place to begin. I did this last year actually, entirely on a piece to create a few different techniques for a macro weave, and here it is. If you haven't checked out this one yet, I'd recommend checking it out because I did go through a few different ways to create unique textures with weaving only with macrame cord. If you like the idea of a bulkier look, you can absolutely create that using several strands of single strand cord together. Now I did that with the knotted pattern here, but you don't have to just group several strands like I did here. You can group the strands together and you can comb it out until you have a nice thick strand that you can work with. It's a bit more time consuming because you do have to comb through it. The great thing about weaving is you can work with relatively shorter cords if you'd like, such as 100 centimeter long lengths, but it does give you that thicker, softer, roving style effect while keeping everything consistent with the rest of your piece. So here is our thicker, chunky macrame cord that we used, but you can definitely get the same effect by combing through several strands of single strand cord at around 3mm to 5mm, whatever you usually have on hand, together to make this same effect. So a few gentle guidelines that might help are start with one main material. You don't want to be overwhelmed with too many different types of fibers, especially when you're learning. Working mostly with one type of cord helps your eye understand how texture builds without everything competing all at once. So I usually stick to cotton cord as my main. Now I can play around with colors, single strand textures, 3-ply braided, but usually the main thing I stick to is cotton cord. You can see here I did use some roving material for that extra added texture and contrast, but that is the only other thing other than the beads that is new here in this section. Another thing is single strand, I would say, is the most versatile for weaving. It can be left as is for cleaner lines, or it can be brushed out and layered for softness. Bulky single strand also works well. And like I said before, you can build on the bulkiness by grouping thinner strands together. I do recommend mixing textures more intentionally, not randomly. If you do add variety, keep it subtle. I do remember when I was designing this piece that I tried to add this roving yarn in multiple sections, but it was just a little bit too much. You kind of want to have one thick bulky texture combined with several smaller sections of other smoother textures to go along with it. And also color schemes work best when they're restrained. So group colors together that look nice together. So you can see here from this piece, I kept it a grayish, taupish color, contrasting it with the natural off-white base. Even if you have just two colors like I did here, using two shades can add depth and contrast without it feeling busy. If you do decide to experiment with roving, you only need a small amount to start. It took me several years before I finished the small amount that I bought, just because you don't need a whole lot to weave something like this onto a wall hanging, and this is already considered a medium wall hanging. I always recommend getting comfortable creating texture with macrame cord first. It builds confidence and gives you much more control. If you are interested in roving material though, you can purchase it at your local arts and crafts store or a yarn store. Texture, just like knotting, is something you learn by slowing down and experimenting. There's no right way, just different approaches, and I recommend doing what feels right for you for the piece you are making. And that concludes our macra weave design tips and tricks video. I hope that you can take some of these tips and apply them when designing your own macra weave designs. If you're interested, we do go a little bit more in depth on this topic over on the BOCHIKNOT macrame community on Patreon. We do have weekly exclusive videos there to help you advance your macrame skill set. So if you're interested, head on over to patreon.com/BOCHIKNOT for more details. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.